With updates on departures and more, this is Pro Wrestling Central. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Touching on ASHANTE, ADONIS no longer being a part of WWE, Dave Meltzer said this on Wrestling Observer Radio. ASHANTE is gone. Yeah, the deal with the ASHANTE, you remember when they were doing all those cuts 3 months ago? We thought he was cut then. I thought he was cut. I thought he was getting a call any day. And I guess what happened was he was going to get cut. And then they kind of realized that if they cut him, they would pay him for 90 days, which would have ended this week. But then they found out his contract ends this week, so may as well keep him around. Well, I mean, the deal is, although he didn't do much, he did nothing. No, it wasn't that. It's like, why, from a publicity standpoint, and from a, whatever. It sounds so much better when his contract expires, then you fire a guy whose contract signed up. So they allow the man's contract to run out roughly the same week that if they had fired him. Then they'd stop paying him, with the 90 days. So it all worked out. It was essentially when they were making the list of guys or the things to do. He was on that list. And they broke up him and Carmen Petrovic after spending all of that time getting them together with no real angle. And, well, I mean, he screwed up for the couple weeks and then they broke him up and then he was pretty much done. And yeah, now he's officially no longer with the company. When it comes to a return in All Elite Wrestling, Ringside News wrote that Jack Perry might be on his way back to All Elite Wrestling after nearly 9 months away from TV. The former Jungle Boy hasn't appeared in AEW since losing the TNT Championship to Daniel Garcia at Full Gear in November 2024. His last match came just 2 months later when he challenged Yota Tsuji for the IWGP Global Heavyweight title at Wrestle Dynasty on January 5th, a bout he didn't win. Since then, the TNT title has passed from Garcia to Adam Cole, Dustin Rhodes, and most recently Kyle Fletcher. During a Fightful Select Q&A, Sean Ross Sapp addressed Perry's future and said that while nothing is confirmed, there has been internal talk about him possibly making a return. Sapp also noted that Perry has simply been at home during his time away and it's believed to be dealing with any injuries. At one point in late 2024, he was discussed for a possible feud with Kenny Omega, but those plans never materialized. It was previously reported back in July that Perry had been backstage at recent AEW tapings. Reflecting on his health following Hulk Hogan's passing, Ric Flair said this to Clay Edwards: "Anytime I get sick, if I go in that life support deal again like I did in 2017, man, you got 2 weeks. I'm not." Flair then recalled that health scare, saying, "My whole intestine ruptured. I was septic, respiratory health failure, pneumonia, total kidney failure. I had a 5% chance to live. I spent 31 days in ICU. Then I had to go to what do you call those places where you learn how to walk and that again, a physical therapy hospital, and I had that stone on my side. I didn't even know it, where they put a bag, attached to your intestine. I had one for 3 months myself. I didn't even know how I had it until I got home. I knew it because I was, pretty sedated all the time except when they made me walk and all that. But when I got home and then all of a sudden they were changing, I said, 'What are you doing?' They said, 'You got a stoma.' I didn't even know it." Speaking about the contract negotiations with WWE prior to his departure, KROSS noted on his YouTube channel, "I expressed my willingness to negotiate with WWE in early January. I didn't, it's preposterous to think that I'd want to go anywhere else. Nothing against anywhere else, but I'm fully committed. I'm here. There isn't a world that exists where I haven't made that entirely clear." Maybe that's the nature of people where they think, if all things aren't working out, they'll go somewhere somewhere else. I really am not like that. I'll bang my head against the pavement until, the sidewalk breaks and we get to the basement. That's just the way I am. It's frustrating because you express your interest in doing things, and then you go to bed and they made it clear so many months have gone by, and I've never had a single conversation about it until recently. And I don't even feel like the conversation I had recently was an actual serious one. But the conversation made me really angry because I didn't think it was a real conversation. Someone contacted me and we had briefly discussed it. It was a very short conversation, and there wasn't anything discussed of real substance. And that really, actually, it didn't make me angry or upset. It just profoundly disappointed me. KROSS's wife Scarlett also confirmed her exit from WWE, writing this on X. "My time in WWE has been an incredible ride, and I can truly say it's been the best locker room I've ever been part of. These people aren't just co-workers, they're family. I love you all, and I'll deeply miss seeing you every week. To the fans, you've never just been a crowd. You've been our partners in every fight and the reason we give everything for this. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. The next chapter starts now, and I'm ready to bring something unforgettable to any stage, anywhere in the world. If you want the smoke show on your show, let's make it happen." Now, there is skepticism regarding KROSS and Scarlett's WWE exits, as many believe they will be back on television. Dave Meltzer said this about it on Wrestling Observer Radio: "It's a weird one. There's way too much talk, and the nature of the talk makes me think that there's more to it. As of this week, he may be a free agent. The belief in WWE is that he's going to be back, but we'll see. Again, it's one of those things where they are not telling anyone anything, but everyone's pretty skeptical. We don't know, but we figure he's going to be back, and we kind of figure it's an angle, but we don't really know." The other thing that was weird to me was his contract coming due at any time, yet they still plugged his book on NXT, and they put him on TV every single week with Sami Zayn. If they're doing it, they're trying to do the Ron Killings thing, but as an angle. The question is, if they bring him back, are they willing to push him? Talking about how he felt following his match against John Cena at SummerSlam, Cody Rhodes told Sports Illustrated, "There's a photo of me laying down right afterwards. I had a little dressing room right over by Gorilla. There's a photo of me laying down on the floor, and it's very telling. I'm just laying face forward and I'm holding on to my side. It's very telling that I was certainly, I don't want to say injured by any means, but I was hurt. I was banged up. One little rib on the left side really bothering me. Back of my calves, all kinds of, I could list you these they're just little, what I'd say, like little knickknacks. I'm a big advocate, and you'll always wrestle hurt, but don't wrestle injured. So I am lucky that no injuries. I left there, no injuries. I don't believe he has any injuries, and that's a good night at the office." During that same interview, Cody Rhodes said this about potentially turning heel in WWE. "Well, so I play for the team. So if the coach tells me this is what we're doing, I might have a question or two about it. I can weigh an objection or a comment, but also that's the whole quarterback element. I'm going to run the play." So when discussions like that, you have that writer room. Ed Koski's right there. You have Triple H, of course, the final boss always present in a way, and Nick Khan. That would be a big discussion that we would all have. And I think heading into any event, not just SummerSlam, Triple H as a leader likes to lay out every single potential road we could go down. Where would it go? Is it just for shock? Is it not? If it was discussed, it didn't go far. I don't think it got to me by any means, because I would have some ideas on maybe how I would execute it and what would happen. But again, I think if you're Triple H and you're looking at 3 years of record business, and you're looking at your team as it is, Rhea Ripley, who's a face of the company, CM Punk, who's a face of the company, Seth Rollins, who's a face of the company, young Braun Breaker, who's on his way up, Jacob Fatu on his way up. If you move a piece in a big way, does it affect the rest of the team? Does it keep running? Do we keep record business? Who knows what it may be? But yeah, that's a discussion that this company, the way it's done today, day, it's a team effort. Hunter is going to make the call, but he's got a good war room of people to weigh it all out. I will say this, in terms of that the heel moment, when and if that ever happens, the more we rack up as a babyface and the more I learn and build connections with the audience, not the less likely it becomes, but the more complicated it becomes. Because if it was to happen and then they start cheering it happen, then it wasn't what we wanted it to be. It wasn't effective. Doesn't mean it can't work, but I am very old school, and I'm not knocking anyone who wants the entertainment or the shock value of it. But if that was ever a road to go down, I'd want to be basically canceled. I'd want to be scum of the earth villain, and as I've branched out my character and the American Nightmare and the brand and all the things, it becomes a lot more complicated the more your hands get into other elements of WWE, if that makes any sense. Going over when the match between John Cena and Brock Lesnar will take place, Dave Meltzer noted on Wrestling Observer Radio, yeah, he mentioned he only had 11 dates left. He once again stated, in what universe would I actually choose Brock Lesnar as an opponent, but I will not back down. They're doing him and Logan Paul in Paris, which surprised me because the angle was with Lesnar. They are obviously going to do the Lesnar match September, October, I believe. The Lesnar match, for whatever reason, they're not doing in Paris. When it comes to a new WWE contract being signed, Ringside News wrote that Lola Vice is officially staying with WWE. PW Insider Elite reports that the NXT standout has signed a brand new deal with the company, securing her spot before her current contract was set to expire this summer. While no specific terms were revealed, WWE typically offers 1-year deals for NXT talent and 3 to 5 year deals for main roster stars. Vice is still competing in NXT, so this new agreement is most likely an NXT extension, unless there are plans to call her up to Raw or SmackDown in the near future. Bringing up how plans changed for Jelly Roll at SummerSlam, Billy Body said this on the Dirty Sheets Wrestling Informer podcast. The original plan was exactly that. The Miz and Jelly Roll were going to continue the feud they began a year ago. Jelly Roll was supposed to get R-Truth as a partner, and The Miz was going to go and get Logan Paul as a partner. That was going to be your match at SummerSlam until The Undertaker got involved. The Undertaker has been heavily involved in Jelly Roll's training. And in addition to that, Drew McIntyre has also been involved in Nashville training Jelly Roll. So it all made sense in the end if McIntyre is actually training Jelly Roll and Undertaker thinks he looks better than The Miz and is a better look for the WWE, especially if we're going to go on late night television. He pushed for McIntyre and Orton, and Triple H agreed, and Miz and Truth were left out in the cold. Paying tribute to his late father Hulk Hogan, Nick Hogan said this in a video posted by Billy Body. Wow, thank you guys so much. Oh my god, wow, Hogan's Hangout will be here tonight, and thank you guys. Thank you so much. We've got a very, very special edition of Main Event Karaoke for you guys tonight. You know, it's been incredibly difficult for everyone the past few weeks since my father passed, but Main Event Karaoke was his favorite activity to come to. He loved and lived to come here on Monday nights, and he would get so eager to come in here and spend time with all of you guys and all of our champions. And I want to say thank you to all of you guys for being here tonight to celebrate. Happy birthday, love. Thank you. It really means it's a lot to me. Like, just thank you. I just got off the plane from New York about an hour ago. I was at his new bar up there that we were celebrating his birthday there as well. Today was Force Illustrated, and I jumped on a plane and flew right down here to be here with you guys because I was so excited to have his birthday here with you guys today. And I'm so lucky to see so many people that meant so much to my dad here. And I've told this story before, but I'll make it quick. I got to tell you guys Main Event Karaoke was his idea. He was in love with this idea. idea, and he said, "I want to do karaoke at Hogan's Hangout on Monday night," and Bill, our partner here, said it'll never work, it'll never happen. You're going to get the same 3 people in there singing. Well, we definitely got the same 3 people, but it's more like the same 300 people that come back all the time and a lot of new friends. So thank you guys for making this party what it is. This is the greatest karaoke party in the world. Let me ask you guys, how many of you are here for the very first time tonight? Wow, oh my goodness, thank you guys. I see a lot of our regulars here tonight. A lot of our champions are in the house. A lot of really special people are here tonight. A lot of my dad's friends are here tonight, so I'm just honored to be here with you guys and honored to celebrate his birthday with you guys. And I know he's watching all of us right now and he's singing his heart out, and he is so happy because he would want to be here too for his birthday. So we're in the right place tonight. I'm going to let Zach take over tonight and host so I can get to talk to all of you guys and hang out and enjoy the show with you guys. But we are so excited. So one more time, who's ready for karaoke? Explaining why Roman Reigns was not present for the 10 bell salutes for Hulk Hogan, this was said on the Dirty Sheets Wrestling Informer podcast. There is no problem with Roman Reigns and Hulk Hogan. They are 2 people that know each other from the Tampa area. But Roman Reigns was not standing out there for Hulk Hogan on Raw because it was actually Triple H who felt that it wouldn't suit Roman Reigns' character for him to be out there. I think that's completely the wrong thing to do. I don't think what your character is matters or anything like that when it comes to standing there for a 10 bell salute. But it was agreed upon by all parties that Roman Reigns' character wouldn't be out there to acknowledge Hogan's death. It looks as though a WWE PLE will be going head-to-head with an AEW pay-per-view, as Ringside News wrote that WWE is looking to shake up the wrestling calendar with plans for a brand new premium live event, and this one could cause some serious competition. According to Post Wrestling, WWE is set to hold the show on September 20th in Indianapolis, Indiana, directly clashing with AEW's All Out at Scotiabank Arena in Toronto. WWE is planning to hold an event in Indianapolis, Indiana on September 20th, which is the same day AEW will be heading to the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto for All Out. While WWE hasn't revealed what time their show will kick off, the date marks the first time a WWE main roster PLE will directly go up against an AEW pay-per-view. In the past, WWE has scheduled NXT premium live events on the same day as AEW specials, including Double or Nothing, All in Texas, and Forbidden Door earlier this year. Previously, WWE have held NXT premium live events on the same day as AEW's Double or Nothing, All in Texas, and Forbidden Door shows this year. At this point, there's still no official name for the premium live event. However, WWE has recently filed to trademark a former WCW pay-per-view name, which could give a hint at what's to come. Following the news of Karrion Kross departing WWE, it appears some fans had their signs in support of the star taken by staff at Raw this week. As Dave Meltzer noted on Wrestling Observer Radio, you know they did confiscate some of the signs tonight? Yeah, I mean nobody chanted. And I heard from several people at the show and they said people thought people might chant. Nobody chanted. There were a few signs in the crowd. I didn't see anyone taking them away, and I did see them later in the show, but someone who was there said, yeah, they absolutely took the signs away. In regards to Kross being gone from the company, WrestleVotes reported, for what it's worth, there are people within WWE corporate with no ties to creative or anything storyline-wise who are under the impression that Karrion Kross and SCARLETT are no longer with the company. talking about potentially bidding for the rights to WWE's entire content library, ESPN chairman Jimmy Pitaro told the Ringer's Press Box podcast, "Yeah, we're always interested in content of that quality. I will tell you that we will have the archival rights for the events that we are airing. But yes, in terms of their library, we certainly would be interested if and when those rights are available. One of the things that we are focused on from a direct-to-consumer perspective is churn and minimizing churn." With Naomi pulled from her scheduled title defense on Raw due to not being medically cleared to compete, Sean Ross Sapp added context to this on the post-Raw show. "I was told it's legit, whatever it is. Now, I understand that this week WWE got screwed because they had planned on a big world title match with Naomi, and that's unfortunate that she got hurt. That sucks." Ringside News added that according to PW Insider Elite, Naomi was backstage at Monday Night Raw in Quebec earlier in the day, so her match being cancelled was not because she missed the taping. The reason for the change was kept very quiet, even from other wrestlers. Touching on those that are unhappy in WWE over Seth Rollins' worked knee injury, Mike Johnson of PW Insider said, "I want to caution everybody. Obviously, WWE can lie to anybody they want. They certainly lied to a lot of people. It would appear during the Seth Rollins situation, much of which has left a very unhealthy flavor in the mouths of a lot of people who work behind the scenes for the company, as well as talents who are in-ring performers." With previous claims that Brock Lesnar was paid by WWE despite his absence, Ringside News has said that in the aftermath of Lesnar's return, Billy Body addressed speculation about his contract situation on Dirty Sheets Wrestling Informer podcast, pushing back on widely circulated reports about his pay during his hiatus. "There is absolutely no way that WWE were paying Brock Lesnar between 2024 and 2025, because that's just not the way the deal was structured. It was 1 year at a time from SummerSlam 2021 to SummerSlam 2022, from SummerSlam 2022 to 2023. Let's assume that's right. Let's say that Brock Lesnar has made $500,000 for no reason, so WWE could use their image, which they didn't do anyway. It has only really cost WWE $500,000. He's not received anywhere near $6 to $10 million for sitting at home. He's received $500,000. Dave Meltzer's wrong, and so is every moron that piggybacks off Dave Meltzer and makes their own stuff." According to Body, Brock Lesnar's post-2021 contract paid $100,000 per television appearance, $500,000 for a pay-per-view, $1 million for a Saudi Arabian event, and a $500,000 annual fee for image rights. Therefore, from 2012 to 2020, the Beast Incarnate worked under larger guaranteed contracts. After he briefly retired in 2020, Vince McMahon brought him back on a per-appearance basis, which was his deal at the time of the Janelle Grant controversy. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.